Hi guys, so it's March 3rd and tonight's homework is lesson 31, homework number 5. So the problem says a group of 14 friends collects 7/10 pounds of blueberries and decides to make blueberry muffins. They put 5/100 pounds of blueberries in each muffin. How many muffins can they make if they use all the blueberries they collected? So we talked in class briefly about how there's a distractor in this problem. There's a piece of information that you actually don't need, and that's the number of friends in the group. So I'm going to have you cross out 14 there. The reason we don't need that amount is because it's saying that a group of 14 friends collects 7/10 pounds of blueberries. Now that's the total amount that they collect. It's not the amount each of the 14 friends collects. So the number of people that were friends that collected this total amount doesn't matter. It would be the same problem if there were just 2 friends collecting 7/10 pounds. What matters is the 7/10 pounds is the total amount of blueberries that we have. And it says they put 5/100 pounds of berries in each muffin. And here's our question, so we're going to underline it. How many muffins can they make if they use all the berries they collected? So how many muffins? And our answer statement here can be they can make blank muffins. All right, so let's draw a picture of what we know. We know that there's a total of 7/10 pounds. Actually, before we draw our picture, let's go back and just double check that there's not a conversion. So I look for my units of measurement. I see pounds, pounds, and they ask how many muffins at the end. So there's no conversion here. I'm going to make note of that. No conversion. We're sticking with pounds throughout the problem. We don't have to convert to another unit of measurement. So let's draw our picture. Here's our tape diagram. We know the total amount. The total amount is 7/10 pounds. And remember, LBS is our abbreviation for pounds. Now, the next thing to think is, okay, we know the total. Do we know the number of groups, or do we know the number in each group? Now, the other piece of information here is this 5/100 pounds. They put 5/100 pounds of berries in each muffin. Right there, in each muffin is like in each group, right? That's the number in each group. When they ask how many muffins can they make, that's the number of groups. So let's show like one group here would be one muffin, and we'll put 5/100 pounds. Okay, we don't know how many groups, so we'll do the dot, dot, dot model, meaning there's more groups in here. We just don't know the exact number. And we'll end with one last group of 5/100 pounds. Okay, when you know the total and you know the number of groups, or you know the total and you know the number in each group, you can divide to find the other piece of information. So the expression here would be 7/10 divided by 5/100. Okay, we're going to set up that problem. The number that comes first goes inside the division house, right? So 7/10 goes inside the house. We're dividing by 5/100. Now, we've talked in class about how we want to move that decimal out of our divisor. So we're going to jump it 2 places to the right and X out our old decimal point. And in our dividend, we want to jump the same amount of times in the same direction, 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Now what I see here is that I have an empty basket, so don't forget to put your egg in the basket. There needs to be a 0 there. And let's bring that decimal point straight up. Okay, so now we have, essentially the problem became 70 divided by 5. So 5 doesn't go into 0, but it does go into 7 one time. 1 times 5 is 5, and I subtract and get 2. Now I need to bring down that 0, and I think what times 5 gets me 20, or as close to 20 as I can get without going over, and that's 4. So the 4 goes right above this 0 here. You want to make sure it's lined up perfectly. 4 times 5 is 20, and I subtract and get 0. There's nothing left to bring down, so I know my answer here is 14. They can make 14 muffins. If you want to check, we would do our answer times the divisor. Okay, so we have 5/100 times 14. You want to go back to that original divisor. okay? 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 4 times 0 is 0. Drop your bomb, kill your captain, sweep your deck. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. We add this up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 5 is 7. And we have zeros there. Before we find our final answer, we have to count how many digits are in the decimals. And I have 2, 1, 2. So I need to jump in 1, 2 places. Okay, and if I know I am right with my check, if my answer to my check ends up being what I started with. And I started with 7/10. Now this is 70 hundredths, but those are equivalent because that 0 can fall off the shelf there, right? So 70 hundredths is the same as 7/10, and that's what we started with. That was what the number was originally as our dividend. So we know that this checks. And I'm just going to label my check here. And I'm just going to put my little check mark to show it checks. So your final answer here is 14. Good luck with your homework tonight. I hope this makes sense, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Also, I promised to shout out tonight to Benny Michaels. So Benny, good luck with your homework. Glad you're watching the videos. Have a good night, guys. Bye.